What is happening, everybody? Orin J here with a very different kind of video for you today. I'm going to bring you a review of a new game on iOS. Actually, it is in the Apple Arcade, which is a $5 a month subscription service. The game is called Fantasian. Now, I am not being sponsored by Fantasian. They're giving me nothing to promote this game for you, but it's a game I've been playing and enjoying. It is a single-player RPG that really feels to me like a throwback to the games I remember from being a kid. I'm talking like Final Fantasy IX, Legend of Dragoon. It has elements of these really old RPGs that I grew up loving, and I want to bring you my review of Fantasian today. So if you have access to the Apple Arcade, maybe you'll think about checking it out. All right, let's get to it. Okay, I want to start this review by talking about one of my favorite aspects of this game, and that's the art style and the level of detail and care that I can tell was put into building this world. You're going to see right now I'm just running around in this city. This is Venice. It's the water city, and look at how the camera moves around. And at first you might think, well, that's kind of odd. The camera keeps jumping around. Why does it do that? Well, let me tell you something. This whole world is models made outside the game that you're playing the game on. So this thing you're seeing on the screen right here, this map, this is actually a model that exists in real life that somebody made, and you're just playing the game on it. So through massive amounts of detail work and care that you can just tell was put into these, and then some clever camera angles that keep moving the camera around, you get to experience this world in a really engaging way that reminds me of Final Fantasy IX in a lot of ways, Legend of Dragoon, like these good memories that I had from old school JRPGs. I'm getting those feelings again here. It's worth mentioning that a lot of the design in this game, including music, was done by people who made Final Fantasy games, including Nobu Uematsu. I probably butchered that name and I'm sorry, but he did the music in this game, which is absolutely amazing. Now, check this out. If you want to talk about throwbacks to old games, how much did you guys like back in the day going into random people's houses? Like I just went into this one and you're like, oh, hello lady. I'm going to walk up to her. What is she going to say? She's like, hey, let's talk about something that you're a stranger. Have you ever been to Inn? I hear there's a place there that serves killer rice omelet. So this lady, who I've never met before, is talking to me about rice omelets. And I'm like, oh, that's neat. And she's going to go have one someday. Meanwhile, I'm like, hey, thanks for this treasure chest. What do you got in there? Ooh, 10 ice fragments? I'm going to help myself to those. Then I'm going to kind of check out the rest of your room here. Because this game, oh, wait, right here. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, a potion. She had a potion on the table. So we're going to relieve her of her possessions and then head right back out. And she's just going to be cool with it. The people in this world are really cool with you just helping yourself to their stuff. In fact, the game rewards you a ton for exploring the world thoroughly and I'll call it looting, but mostly people are just sharing with you. All right, let's move on to the next part of the review. Okay, let's talk about the characters a little bit. You are playing as Leo, the guy with the white hair, the black jacket, in the front of the screen right here, and you're essentially just looking for your memories. I don't want to talk about the story a ton because I don't want to get into spoilers or anything like that, and I'm not super far into the story. But you keep traveling the world, you're meeting people who know you. Apparently you were a pretty popular guy. Like this bartender right here, you know him, you know his brother, they're both bartenders, that's pretty cool. And these have been nice little story hooks to keep the story progressing. You've also met a couple other people. You're going to meet people on your journey. At this point, I've met Kina here, who is a mysterious mage. She was found in the forest by some old guy who you met, and you're taking her with you for some reason. And then there's Cheryl, who's the princess, and she's joining you. And of course, she has a crush on you, and Kina probably also has a crush on you because it's a JRPG, and what would it be if the main character didn't get all the girls? So I'm enjoying that part because, it's cool. And the characters so far have been really enjoyable. They have personality, they engage with other characters in a cool way, and sometimes you even run into NPCs that will be like, oh, hey, we remember that you just saved this city, so this treasure chest we were looking at, why don't you just take it instead, and have a good day, bro. And the world has felt alive. Like, when you do things, when you interact with characters, you feel like you're a part of the world, and as you gain your memories back, you feel more and more a part of the world. So I'm going to give the characters in this game a plus. Something else that's helped tie the characters to the world and tie you to the characters is as you meet new people, as Leo remembers things, you skip to these cutscenes that aren't CGI cutscenes like old school RPGs used to do, but again, they're more aesthetically pleasing and graphically suitable to iOS devices like iPads and phones. They're very artsy. You see on the screen right now this really good looking picture with text coming across of it that you have to read, and these are Leo's memories as he's remembering interacting with other characters, interacting with the world, and they're the way the game ties one scene to the next. It's the way you move from, oh, okay, I'm developing as a character, into, oh, I do remember you, princess. And this story right here is the story of when Leo met the princess a while ago. We don't remember exactly how long. And he ends up standing her up on a date that he sets up because, well, we don't know why, but you do know that he gets transported to a different part of the world at some point, so I'm guessing that has something to do with it. This is from the princess's point of view and how sad she was that she didn't get to hang out with him one night after he invited her out. So these have been really fun. They've really brought the units, the characters, to life and have helped the story flow a little bit. I've actually enjoyed them, and I haven't just been skipping them like I would with some other games. All right, let's take a look at combat, and combat in this game really puts the icing on the cake, in my opinion. Now, each character is going to have fight, right, which is a use your weapon, go hit the enemy, basic stuff. But each character also has their very own set of skills. So the main character here, Leo, he's thief class, so he has access to steal. Really cool that the main characters have access to steal, and in this game, steal works really well. You have a very high chance of stealing. So if you want to be crafting stuff later, which it keeps hinting at a crafting that I haven't got to yet, or if you just want items, stealing works really well. Okay, now, besides attacking, there's another element in this. Now look at Leo. See this line that I'm moving around here? If I can ever get more than one enemy in this line, he will hit all of them because his attack is piercing type, which means he can hit in a line. He also has skills that do that, like if we go look at his fire slash. Again, if I could hit more than one thing with this fire slash, it would do AoE damage, and AoE damage is a huge part of this game. Now, this is just a regular fight, so let's clean this up as quick as we can. Let's aim for this key guy in the back. You want to burn these key monsters down as fast as you can, because if you do, they'll drop that key. So I'm going to use all my big attacks, like my ice magic on him here. I'm going to use Holy. And oh look, she's going to get to hit both. She's going to hit the Mecha Jellyfish and the Key Orbling. So watch this. She throws her Holy, boom, damage onto both, kills the key guy. Now I'm going to get that key, which means I can open a treasure chest, which is really neat. And here, let's show off steal. Watch this. We're going to steal from this thing. There we go. We got a Macteria core, something I can use for crafting later. And then let's just finish him off. Princess drops her Snide on him. Cool, he's dead. Now, that's not the only part of combat here. Like, that's basic, right? You're like, okay, cool, there's this AoE element, that's neat, but what else? Like, what else makes combat so special in this game? Well, notice up in the top left, you see that D with the square button next to it? That is stored encounters. As you run around the map, you can choose not to fight every encounter you come across. Instead, you'll just get that little notification right there, and oh, that number went up. Now I can hit square on my controller and go to a dimension, however you say it, dimension. It's kind of like a dimension battle. Now, inside of this dimension, where I've been storing monsters, is every one of them that I've stored. You can see I have 26 monsters left to kill. This is where the AoE elements come in huge, right? Like, I need to aim my spells to hit more than one thing because I have 26 things to burn through right here. This makes farming in the game so much more tolerable because you don't just have to take all of this time farming fight by fight, trying to like, okay, I need to just grind. Grinding is so easy in this game because you can just save up all the fights and then come out here and just blast them all with AoE. And so instead of fighting one fight at a time, well, this is a much better experience and something that has made leveling in this game, powering up, just a much more enjoyable thing. Okay, to wrap this up, to just kind of put a bow on the video, I would highly recommend anybody who liked old school JRPGs and has been looking to scratch that itch for a while to pick this game up if you can. Now, I know that one of the big drawbacks of the game is that it's not available on like anything other than the Apple Arcade, and that's a little disappointing, right? Like, I wish this game was more widely available, but if you do have an iOS device, like an iPad, an iPhone, something like that, or you can figure out how to emulate the thing, I'd highly recommend doing it. The characters are really interesting, the world looks so good, the story is engaging, and you guys, combat in this game is great. Like, as someone who likes to grind, and I think a lot of people who played games back in the day must have enjoyed the grind a little bit because we had to do it all the time, they made grinding enjoyable. Like, the fact that you can store up battles and then just crush all these monsters with AoE skills, and you still feel like you're putting in the work, but you're getting the reward all at once in a shorter period of time, is a huge payoff. The boss fights have been engaging. Like, there's a little bit of strategy involved. Like, if the boss puts up a 5-hit shield, use your multi-hit attacks to take that down, etc. I've had to use potions in fights, things like that. The difficulty level feels appropriate, and I would highly recommend this game to anybody looking to get into an RPG. I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm still early into it myself, but I'm looking forward to what's next, and I hope you decide to pick this game up and give it a try, because I've really enjoyed it. Okay, thank you for watching, everybody. If you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all next time. Later.